Welcome back. This is Mags on Media. So, sitting next to me is the man responsible for the sounds of some of South Africa's best loved ads. But, says sound guru Adam Howard, the importance of music in advertising is often undervalued. So what then is the powerful connection between music and brands? We've not done this on the program before. So Adam, I'm very keen to explore this strong connection between brand and music, and a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
What is it and what is the association?
Look, I mean, I think all the most successful advertising, marketing campaigns always hit an emotional point with the viewer or the listener. So music and sound play such an integral part. We're all musical, I believe. We've all got songs that connect us with a certain aspect of our life. It's very difficult to feel scared if there's some happy music being played and vice versa. So I think the connection is very important, and that's why brands really do take serious consideration to what music they use with their brands. Is it aligned with their brands? And that's why composers like myself compose to brief as well, depending on what sort of brief that might be. So it's very important, and people connect with music.
Do you think the contribution of music to advertising sometimes is undervalued?
Undervalued, I'm not sure. I mean, budget is king always. So, you might have a potential TV commercial, radio commercial, where they've got the budget to maybe license an existing song, a famous song. So that's usually big budget as well, because they have to clear a famous song. Then on the other side of the scale, budget might not be a lot, and they might be looking at library music. Library music is production music, where you will go to a big library, find a piece, license it for not as much as an original piece.
Right.
So there's two sides to that. And then there's also original music in the middle, where they'll come to a composer with no reference of music and just saying, look, these are the visuals. We're looking at something like this, maybe something like this. And then you compose an original piece of music for that.
And let's pick up on that. Take me inside your head, if you can. How do you compose to a brief? And what type of brief would a composer such as yourself like to receive? I have
to be very varied in the different briefs that I can write. I'm a media composer, so there might be, look, we like this Guns N' Roses track, we wanted the same feeling, but it's maybe a little bit too dated. Can you bring it into this sort of, so you have to be very, very broad-based as a musician. So, having your fingers in a lot of pies, from jazz to classical. So that's how the brief might arrive on my desk, Sometimes they're just saying, listen, we're going to leave it to you. And then you maybe pitch 2 or 3 different ideas. Look, I've tried this direction. Maybe it's a little bit too fast or too happy. These are very general words. But you've got to try and get into the minds of the creative people that are involved with that as well. So it's a two-way thing.
At what point does that happen? Should it happen at the brief stage, or would you prefer to almost see the finished ad, or at least the rushes of the ad, before you get a better visual idea in your head, so you can start then to exercise your mind orally?
It all depends, actually, Jeremy. It all depends. I mean, sometimes we have to compose the music before the edit. For example, some Mac TV commercials using the whole gospel song, This Little Light of Mine. There's characters in the TV commercial that are actually singing this, so it has to be in time. So the edit, I can't wait for the edit, because then those lines might be out of time as a musician. So there's certain projects that demand that the music's composed before the edit, and then I would say 70% I always wait for the final picture, and then we sit down and we're saying, look, this is how it's looking now. The brief that we gave you before may be a little bit off the mark a little bit, because now the visuals are saying something else. So every single brief, every single job is completely different.
How often do you struggle?
Sometimes you get in front of the computer, because we compose with a keyboard and a computer. That's how we get the information in. And so, there's some times where you've got a blank screen. It's like an artist, you've got a blank paper. It's like, where do you start? So you start with some ideas, you sack that idea, you start. So sometimes it is daunting, but once you get into the rhythm, then that's when things start to happen. So when you're on the right path, and then it happens quite quickly sometimes. But
sometimes, Adam, it's not a soundtrack, but it's this thing called a mnemonic.
Mnemonic, yes.
Which is a little short stab of music which almost subliminally creates brand association.
Yes.
Is that the right? Have I got that right?
Yes.
How do you go about that?
Well, a mnemonic is a audio device that reminds somebody every time. It's like a recurring. It's it's a memory device. So, for example, BMW. So on the end of every single TV commercial, every radio commercial, you'll be reminded for 2 seconds, and that is clearly BMW. Before that, it was the gong. McDonald's, I'm loving it. You know, these are mnemonic devices. Sometimes BMW, it's purely sound effects. There's no music. Well, there is a little bit of a music device in there. So sometimes you can have a very musical mnemonic, or you can have a sound effect mnemonic as well. But it's always reminding the potential customer of the brand. So, I mean, as soon as you hear that BMW mnemonic, then you realise.
Yeah, I mean, there's instant association.
Exactly.
What's the thought process around a mnemonic then?
Well, I've just written a mnemonic for Mac washing powder. The mnemonic device is Shine On, Mac Shine On. So we decided to make a very musical mnemonic, which can tie into the music before. So musically speaking, the mnemonic is always in the same key, always in the same tempo, so it doesn't jar the listener. So that's a very musical mnemonic.
All right, so Adam, in conclusion, I think we've got the theory as far as this particular discipline is concerned. Take me back through 2018 and some of the soundtracks that we might find familiar as observers of advertising.
I think the highlight of last year was scoring the Alan Gray TV commercial, which is called A Father's Share. Very seldomly do you have 2.5 minutes to compose, but this was a 2.5-minute TV commercial that was cut down to...
It was a blockbuster, if I remember.
It was great, yeah. So to get a brief for 2.5 minutes from me, I mean, I work in a 30-second world, you know, where we need to, deliver all the musical ideas within 30 seconds. So to have a brief of 2 minutes 30, and the visuals were just amazing, and the team at King James were just amazing. I was really working with the best of the best. But it went on to win so many awards. It won a Gold Glory this year, it won a Silver Lion, it's won a Pendoring Award, it's won a lot of awards. So I'm very proud to be part of that. But also the brief was just, you just compose what you feel. I mean, there was so much open brief on this one. So, for that to be awarded as well. I mean, awards, they're nice to, to have. I mean, I think clients like to have to see a few awards on your wall of the studio. Also, we did a lot of work for Mac as well. Mac Washing Powder has become a really good client of ours, where we're really developing the musical message on each TV commercial and being part of the mnemonic as well. And also, I suppose that one more highlight was the MTN Night Shift commercial, where we relicensed the Commodore's Night Shift, where we could re-record it, but give it a little bit of a twist as well. And again, that went on to win Gold Glories for Best Use of Licensed Music. So it's those briefs where you really go above and beyond, where you sort of make a difference as well, which is always nice.
The fascinating world of sound and music in advertising. Adam Howard, thank you very much,
so much
indeed. Finally on the programme this week, what happens when Santa's naughty list leaks? Well, Air New Zealand, using a clever parody featuring a Donald Trump-esque youngster to beckon travellers to what it calls the nicest place on earth. Get it? Until next time, goodbye to you, and thank you for watching.
Would Pixie Wigglefoot please report immediately to the reindeer hangar?
Excuse me, Santa?
Yes, Noel, I'm onto it. Compose new email. Send Santa's Naughty List 2018 to elves@northpole.com. Oh, my reindeer.
Santa, what have you done?
Guys, we're all on Santa's naughty list. What are we gonna do? Yes, summit.
That number.
In New Zealand, I need your help.
Kia ora.
What are we gonna do? There are kids here from all around the world, and we're all on Santa's naughty list. We need to fix it.
We need to rebalance our karma. Do some good deeds.
Argentina promete reducir un 27% las...
Argentina promised to reduce personal gas emissions by 27%.
That's good.
Unbelievable.
behalf of all the children of Great Britain, we promise to eat more vegetables by 2090.
The country of Japan promises a 30% reduction in hair pulling.
I have to say, I'm not naughty at all. In fact, I'm the nicest person I know. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay. New Zealand promises to do all our chores, spend less time on our phones, and be nicer to Australia. Thanks for your help today, guys.
No problems. Hey, Elvis.
Yeah,
Will Santa really know about what we did today?
of course.